From inside TD Garden, I am Josue Pavon alongside Bobby Manning. Bobby, Kyrie Irving got the reception that we all expected him to get here at TD Garden, but here's what he had to say about it after the game.
No, I think it's going to be like that. Well, I know it's going to be like that for the rest of my career coming in here. So, it's like the scoring girlfriend, just wants an explanation on why I left, but still hoping for, a text back. And I'm just like, yeah, it's fun while it lasted, and I think that's the relationship that makes it fun. But, the reality is that I'm just grateful for my time here in Boston. Everybody in the front office, everybody in that locker room treated me well. Still have lasting relationships in our league, that extend as a brotherhood for us. And, we still remain close. So to see the growth of a lot of guys that I play with on this team and seeing this core group back together, Marcus Smart, Al Horford, JB, JT, and then I add Derek White, a few other guys, Rob Williams maturing. I was with these guys when they were pups. When JT just got drafted, JB was in his second year. So, I just have mutual respect for them. And, coming back in this environment, we know what it is. And I just got to lock in on the mission, stay focused, and, not try to have too many conversations with.
Bobby, taking one of John's metaphors wasn't something I expected to see, but that's exactly what we got from Kyrie Irving. I don't know if he watches the show or not, Bobby. I was joking around, during the post-game show. Kyrie had a so-so night out here. What was it, 18 points, 8 of 18 from the floor. He definitely tried to ramp things up on the defensive end of the floor, but obviously the Celtics managed to still win here, 126-120 against the Brooklyn Nets. But Bobby, what's your reaction to what he had to say? I know you talked about it briefly on the post-game show, but what do you think about the whole scorn lover comparison?
It's expected, and it's a fine comeback from him to the noise. I actually saw Jason Tatum when they were going crazy during the free throws that Brown was shooting there, try to quiet the crowd down when they were doing a Kyrie sex chant as the Celtics started to pull away late there. So there's a sense that the Celtics as a team, as players, aren't all into that as well, but it's to be expected when you do what he did, promising to come back to the team. If you'll have me, that now infamous quote, the commercial, all that different kind of stuff. There's going to be a pain there, and it certainly wasn't a clean breakup. And went right to the team in the same division, competing with you, teaming up with Kevin Durant. You have that story a couple weeks ago. Could Davis have been involved here if he stayed? There's still pain there. It wasn't that long ago. Like, this isn't 10 years now we're talking about. This is his first game back here since the logo stomping incident. Now, I didn't think that was a big deal. Some people did. You go out there and do it, you put yourself in position to be booed again. And I'm sure that had something to do with the reaction today beyond leaving. It's just a lack of realization for actions and reactions by Kyrie. There's never an accountability for his own actions. It's always the outside that's the problem. It's never him.
I think you said that perfectly, Bobby, because in my opinion, it's like, well, listen, Kyrie, what did you think changed here between now and what you did to the lucky logo? And look, regardless of where you fall in this conversation about was it disrespectful to the organization, did he go too far, you have to expect Boston fans, Celtics fans in particular, to react the way they did. You haven't been back since then, so this was going to be the reaction you were going to get. And at the same time, we're not surprised, and you shouldn't be surprised. I don't understand this whole like, oh, I'm not getting why they're still mad at me type of thing. Well, one, is still fresh, and two, you just did what you did. Like, every time you and the Celtics fans come to close contact, there's always something that leaves a bad taste in their mouths,
Yeah, and I want to take this to the Nets, too, because they have their own problems. I mean, they've now lost 17 of 20 after this game. Kyrie is still a part-time player. Let's hope for that resolution, but there's still issues that he's going through here that mirror some of the stuff that happened in Boston that left a bad taste in people's mouth. James Harden trade being the latest, that obviously a significant part of that was Kyrie's part-time status and the load that put on Harden. So they're in a tricky situation now where they're a playing team. They are not playing good basketball. Even in this game, I did not like the way they played defense at all. I don't think they have a clear identity on that end. I don't think they have a great identity as a team. So we're now 3 years into this Kyrie KD experiment. And is it even off the ground? It doesn't feel like it. You know, and it's excuse after excuse. The KD foot on the line, injuries, outside noise, reports about Harden. And then all of a sudden, what everyone thought was going to happen there with that situation happened. Yeah. So what are you going to say? Plus Ben Simmons on top of it.
It's like a lack of accountability, which is ironic when you look at Ime Udoka and the situation between him and the Celtics, where it was like that's all he's been demanding from his team is accountability. And look, Jason Tatum telling the crowd to quiet down. I don't see anything that was said being as disrespect. I mean, I think we can all agree that what happened with the fan throwing the water ball at him, that's a bit too far. Things being said, whether crossing the line here or there, that's a bit too far. When he mentions, and Kyrie I'm talking about after the game, saying that as long as people aren't saying my name, aren't speaking to me outside of my name, then I'm okay with it. All right, well that's fine. But I remember the very, very first time we heard a Kyrie sucks chant here. Kyrie wasn't even in the building. I don't know if you remember that, Bobby. And he went on this whole, thing on IG about respect and everything. Like, look, I just don't think saying or chanting that someone sucks, I don't think that's disrespectful. I just think that's really hardcore basketball fans or sports fans in general. But that's just my take on it.
Remember, he asked to keep it a basketball, and it felt like that's what they did tonight. Right. I wasn't around every fan, but, there's generally a basketball distaste here, and he took it to another level with the race comments last year. Feels like in the end, I think there was a good conversation to be had there, but that's not why he brought it up.
Right.
So, we had that conversation a year ago. It's always going to be a conversation around Kyrie here, but this is really about the Celtics. And you know what? I think the crowd should keep it to that. Be happy with the team that the Celtics have in place here. Be thrilled about the win. And Kyrie's in the past. So at some point, I do think you leave that. And